With this versatility and the depth they have along the front seven, this defense should be hunting every game.
The greatest fans on earth. It's a bold statement, but would you expect anything less from Philadelphia? 58 years of heartache creates a toughness, a grit, a resolve not found in most. Sure, our prayers were answered, but now that we've had a taste, we're looking for more. Lehocky, official partner of the Philadelphia Eagles.
Welcome back to the Lehocky post-game show. I'm Devin Caney. Guys, I can't believe that our first show is almost over. Mike, seems like an uncharacteristically positive review from you. I'm a little bit shocked.
Yeah, well, how did I get this negative reputation when I'm all sweetness and light? I just don't understand it. But listen, I'm looking at this game as a game the Eagles had under control, Devin. And I know it looks like Detroit played them tough, but they were comfortable and they did what they needed to do. And there's some things that we're still going to have to address. The Jonathon Gannon situation is going to continue to be reevaluated. The Jalen Hurts situation is going to be continue to be evaluated. But today he did what he needed to do to win this game. And I thought they won it very comfortably, and I was not ever in fear of them losing this game.
Won it comfortably with 3 points as a differential.
Yeah, the final score looks like they didn't win it comfortably, but they did. I mean, they had a cushion, and I don't think that it was very serious that Detroit was going to steal this game from them. They answered whatever Detroit did, and then they let Detroit answer a little bit. I think that maybe they took their foot off the throttle a little bit defensively. I'm
not comfortable with this new very casual Mike Missinelli.
Who is he?
You know, I know.
When there's a need to rip, I will still rip. Believe me, I will still do that.
But look, this team did exactly what I thought it was supposed to do in a lot of ways. They came out, they beat a lesser opponent, a team that didn't have as much talent on either side of the football as they did. My biggest concern is that you let this opponent back in the game. Yes, it was their home opener. Yes, it was in their backyard. You had them down by double digits twice. You should have put your foot on their throats. You didn't. The defensive game plan for me has left a lot to be desired. You have too much talent on that side of the football to be playing the way you played against an offense like Detroit. You have to change something because you cannot play the Minnesota Vikings and other teams the way you played the Detroit Lions today, because they're going to come back and bite you in the behind.
You know, I can't wait actually to go back and look at this game again in a little more depth. It seemed to me that Hassan Reddick played a lot of defensive end today. I think he started at left end over BG today. And there was a couple of times in some of those runs that DeAndre Swift had where he was getting up the field hard and fast, like he thought it was a passing situation, and it was clearly a run, and he basically ran himself out of the play. I want to understand how it is that, you know, he's being deployed, what they're asking him to do in the four-man situation, and what they're asking him to do in the five-man situation. A lot of people are upset. You're already on my Twitter line, you know, that, hey, you know, Hassan Reddick, you know, dropped into coverage too much. Well, listen, in their five-man, this is what you're going to see. You're going to see him do a little bit of everything. In the four-man, I'm a little perplexed because he's going to have to just play straight-up defense, D-Gun, and understand that on second down, they may run the football. You can't run yourself out. I get it. You're only 235 to 250 pounds, but you got to stand in there and play if that's how they're going to deploy him, and that's how they're going to play him.
With this versatility and the depth they have along the front seven, this defense should be hunting every game. The fact that they had one quarterback sack against Jared Goff, and that sack came by accident only because it was a bad snap from the center to Goff, that's not good enough, Seth. I mean, we can criticize a lot of things. That's not good enough, man.
Listen, I agree 100%, and Jonathon Gannon is on record talking about how unimportant sacks really are. It's the pressure that you get on quarterbacks is how you make them react. You know, I don't buy that. The Eagles were 31st in sacks last year.
Yes.
31st out of 32 teams in sacks last year. And I don't care what you say.
Right.
as many bad quarterbacks as the Eagles played in the second half of last year, and as many bad quarterbacks as they're going to have on their schedule this year, you need to be bringing pressure where you make those guys uncomfortable and you force turnovers. Turnovers are forced. They don't just come to you because you want them. They don't come to you just because you talk about them. Turnovers happen because you force the issue and you force the quarterback to make bad decisions.
So you guys have changed my mind. Now I'm totally dissatisfied.
I agree with you on a lot today, man.
And I will say their run defense has to get a lot better. DeAndre ripped them apart today, but he's a great player. And I agree with you. You're going to have to get pressure on the quarterback. I mean, a guy like Jared Goff, really, they should have been eating out of his hand today. Like pressure. We even looked at it. As soon as you put pressure on, he gets it.
Kirk Cousins,
and as defensive coordinator, you got to see that.
Kirk Cousins next week is another guy whose Achilles heel is pressure. But if you don't get the run under pressure, if you don't get Dalvin Cook under control first, then you have no way whatsoever of getting that pressure on Kirk Cousins.
Absolutely.
And you're going to need it.
All right, that's going to wrap it up. Now, I just want to say one thing before we depart here. We are doing the show on 9/11, and I do not want to downplay that at all. We're all happy that the Eagles won. But on 9/11, a somber day in U.S. history, and so all the people who were affected by this, all the people that lost their lives and their loved ones and their families, keep them in your heart and your mind. And this is who we are as Americans. We rebound. We're resilient. We fight back. So always keep that in your heart on what we did, guys. 9/11.
Even at this date, it still sends chills down my spine in terms of how this country was attacked and what so many people had to endure, and so many people personally touched in a negative way by what happened. But, Mike, you're exactly right. One thing America is about, it's about bouncing back in the face of adversity, and this nation has bounced back. We will never forget that moment. We hold it near and dear to our hearts. And we just keep moving forward.
Hey, Eagles win it 38-35. Next week, the Minnesota Vikings. Going to be a challenge. For Derek Gunn and Seth Joyner, this is Mike Missinelli. You've been watching the Eagles postgame show sponsored by Lehocky and JAKIB Sports Media.
Don't forget Devin Caney.
And Devin Caney.
Hey,
I apologize. She's right on the screen.
Seth forgot me. You forgot me. It's fine.
I got you, though.
It's the diamond necklace, I swear to God. We're back next week. The Vikings are up next. See ya.
Philadelphia fans, were cut from a different cloth. Born into a brotherhood and bonded to our team for life. We believe anything is possible because we've witnessed the impossible. While we may be from different neighborhoods, come Sunday, we are one, and we will be heard. Lehocky, official partner of the Philadelphia Eagles.